Hey folks, welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you can join today. And if not, I hope you can catch the replay. So I want to welcome everyone that's going to join on for this 8-week accountability challenge. I'm so excited for it. I can't believe that it's here. And I'm excited that it's here. I'm getting my accountability on with you guys, and hopefully we can feed off each other. So today's in today's cast, I want to go over the outline for the next 8 weeks. So today, kind of like an overview and a little bit of getting started and how to get organized. But basically, this week is just considered preparation week. This week, we're going to be going over just getting the organization going and having our plan lined out. So next week, we can really do the implementation. We're going to get everything actually in motion next week. But we're going to get all the preparation done, hopefully starting today. And I'm going to do a little bit each day this week. So today, and what I'm going to do on Mondays is do an open live stream for Q&A or pick up any questions in the comments. So if you're not able to make the live productions on YouTube, then you can do you can put questions in the comments. You can put comments, anything that you're wanting me to kind of speak on for that week for that coming week. Go ahead and leave your comments there, and I'll make sure that I cover that in the live stream. So today we're going to be talking about the tools that we need to kind of get ready and get prepared for the upcoming 8 weeks. So 8 weeks is a long time. If you think about it, that's 2 full months. A lot can happen in 2 months if you really stay on track. So I'm hoping we can even start today if you want to, but just to kind of get that momentum. But I didn't want to put the pressure on everything starting today, because sometimes it takes a couple of days to get your bearings and get really organized to get that flow going. So you can use this week as a practice week or revving up type of week, or just getting really organized, and that's completely fine. So the first thing I think everyone should think about is your goal, right? What is your ultimate goal, and what are the tools you're going to be needing to achieve that goal? So you want to, ultimately, this is your vision. You want to get clarity about, so you want to get clarity. Oh, hi, Susan. I see you're on the stream here. And Fred is your cat. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is great. This is the kind of thing the whole point of today is really momentum. And this whole week, the whole program is about keeping the momentum going, so you're not left on your own, sort of like flailing around like, gosh, I don't know, I'll have a whole other week until we meet again. I hate having that happen to clients, because it's like they're on their own. But keeping that momentum going is the whole point of this program, right? Is to keep the energy going, because that's what any program is. It's momentum, and that's what drives motivation, is momentum. So we're going to really get into that. I'm going to get that in specifically in particular weeks as well. But every day we're going to touch on it, right? So today is more about the getting ready and really thinking about ideas and getting your ideas hammered out, starting slow. I think what you can do with this program is build on things. So if you find you have a lot of things that you want to do, I recommend just starting with one thing on the first week and then adding on from there. Sometimes if you're trying to do 5 or 6 things in 1 week, it feels a little bit of an overload. But if you start with one thing, you can add on from that pretty easily, especially after you master that one habit. So here's an example of what I'm going to try. I'm going to cut back on alcohol intake to 0. That's kind of ambitious, but I'm going to cut back to 0, because I find it easier for alcohol in particular, for wine or whatever, to not, just to have none. That's just easier to kind of keep that momentum going. So instead of all these other things like portions and exercise and a lot of goals we can have, I think it's easier just to focus on one thing at a time as you get started, and then add on from there. So that's my first suggestion. And okay, so let's see, that's today. So tomorrow I'm going to get into more about tools, in particular tools that you might need on this journey. So apps and food scales and tape measures, things like that, just like fitness apps, fitness equipment. I'm going through my notebook here. Wednesday, we're going to talk about backup plans and having a plan B and having a plan C, because you kind of need these things spelled out before you get into the actual program. So a lot of programs just tell you what to do, and you just kind of follow it like a robot. But this is going to be more, we're still going to have structure. Structure is really important, and I'm going to talk more about that later on, how important structure is. But structure plus options make it more exciting. Structure plus variety keeps it interesting. So one thing that's boring about diet plans or weight loss programs or any kind of challenge that you're doing is that you tend to get bored after day 27 because it's the same plan, you're just following it. So this is going to incorporate more variety and choices and options for you, but it's still going to have the structure because the structure is key to programming your mindset. So we're going to keep, it's about repetition. This Thursday, I'm going to go over just general recommendations. Like if you don't have a really good starting place and you're not sure what you should do, I'm going to have general recommendations about what to eat, how to exercise, how to sleep, how to improve sleep habits. So I'll go over some just general recommendations I would make for anyone to see health improvements, energy improvements, positivity improvements, and that will be on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll talk about how to get your environment ready. A lot of this is controlling the stimulus and the triggers that come in. So I want to make sure that everyone has a good platform to have like a fresh start, because it's hard to go into a program that, a big challenge, and then you see your everyday environment and maybe there's potato chips on the counter or muffins or, just things that are kind of triggers that make it easy to slip off. So we'll talk about that this Friday. So this week, like I said, it's all getting prepared. And then for next week, I'll hop on the weekends to do some quick motivational boosts. They probably won't be very long shows. It'll just be little quick blips here and there. And then week one, so next week, we're going to jump into time management and setting up your schedule. This is making the systems and the structure for the program to work. So that's probably what you're really looking for, is how am I going to do this? How am I going to line this out? We're going to break out the calendar, break out the daily planner to really figure out how things are going to fit into your calendar. And that'll be throughout the week, because I'm outlining what is each week, and then I'm outlining what is each day of each week. Week 2 is going to be working on mindset, because you're not going to get very far without the right mindset. So how to train your brain to feel good, even when you're doing things that are uncomfortable, or you're doing things that take a lot of focus and a lot of your bandwidth. Sometimes it's draining to keep up with something that's every day. And so that week 2 is going to be dedicated to that, because the first week we have a lot of excitement, and you need to keep that going to keep the momentum going, because once that falls off, old tendencies start coming back. So week 3 is usually when I see resistance popping up and bad old habits kind of coming back, old patterns. So week 3, we're going to be working on rolling with that resistance, dealing with discomfort, working on grit and how to move through challenging situations. So that's week 3. Week 4, we're going to get more into tracking metrics, because that's after 4 weeks, you're starting to see some changes, and they're not always the same changes that you've always measured. There's a lot of different things that change when you work on your health. So I'm going to go through a whole plethora of different things to look at and consider that indicate progress, even when your main metric might not be changing as much as you'd like, or you're wondering how effective something is. There's still a lot of other metrics that are changing. So that's going to be week 4. Week 5 is recalibrating. So sometimes after about a month or so, you're wondering, should I stay on the same path? Should I shift directions? Should I add on a new goal? Or is my goal even pertinent anymore? Maybe that's changed. So considering a recalibration or a shifting of adding on, you might want to add on something additional because you're feeling really good in the past month and you're ready to take on that next piece. So week 5, I think, is a good time to introduce that, but not before then. Usually that first week is you feel out how things are going, but week 5, after things really have some momentum behind you, is a good time when to check back in for that. Week 6 is going to be introducing more variety and mixing it up. So like I said, how things start to get kind of boring, especially if you've been, people that have done a diet plan, they're doing keto or they're doing Weight Watchers, and it's like, okay, I'm doing, and you get into a groove because it works for you. But at some point you're craving something, either you think you're craving freedom, so you want to get away from it. But what you're really craving is variety, and you're craving mixing it up, but you're not really sure how to go about it because you don't want to make any mistakes. So week 6 is going to be more about how to introduce all of that variety, keep things fresh, keep things exciting as you figure out how things are working well for you. Week 7, we're going to talk about setting up rewards, because rewards, you got to reward yourself for hard work. And what are appropriate rewards? And what are rewards that aren't going to be setbacks? And what are rewards that are realistic? Like, it's easy to say, I'm going to spend a lot of money on a trip, but we want to have a reward that's not going to be stressful, So we're going to talk about that. And then week 8 is common troubleshooting, and how you're turning this into a lifestyle. So I think what can happen, you might run into old patterns. You might, foresee events. You've got your environment right now. You're doing your 8 weeks, but then suddenly vacation comes up, or suddenly a family get together comes up, or anything can kind of throw you off. So trying to troubleshoot those instances into incorporating it into a lifestyle. And so that's how I'm seeing the 8 weeks going. But each week, I think there'll be plenty of variety, even within the topics of the week. So I thought it would be good to separate each week into a particular topic, but there's so many aspects of each topic. I think there's going to be plenty to talk about every single day. So, and I do want to do a giveaway for participants, like do a one-to-one private coaching giveaway. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I was thinking about picking out based off of people's comments. So anyone that's commenting can get entered into the drawing. And if every video you comment on, say you get one entry, something like that. So I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to roll it out, but I definitely want to do that as an incentive for anybody. Anybody that you don't have to necessarily even be a subscriber or be, following along every single video. But if you're coming in and you're doing the program and you're all set up and you're wanting that assistance, and that's just something that I'm going to offer as a fun giveaway freebie for folks to encourage everybody to participate. I really look forward to comments. I think it's going to be really far. Susan, I'm glad you feel like you're winning so far. That's awesome. I'd love to get more people on, because I know everybody really wants this right now. They really, really want to feel good for summer. And I know some folks in the Southern Hemisphere might be heading into winter, but just sort of this time of year where we're coming out of pandemic and we're coming out of being alone a lot, and we're starting to get together in groups and gathering and really wanting to feel good, and not really showing how much we've been affected by staying home quite so much. Some of those habits I've worked with clients all last year with, it's just been hard to be home so much, and you're always in the kitchen and not really as active anymore. So I'm hoping to really turn it around in the next couple of months. So anyhow, I've got a couple of things. I'm going to put links to these in the video description as soon as I get done recording this. But the tools I'm going to recommend to take a look at right now. So here's one called Daily Plan. This is just a tablet. It's like a notepad that I got on Amazon, and you can write down the schedule starts at 6 a.m. and it goes to 11 p.m. And then there's a top 3 to-do list, and then to-do items, and the free space for notes. And then you can write your meals on here and check off your water. So I love this kind of thing to keep on track. If a daily planner is a little bit too much, a lot of times I recommend daily planners where you've got the whole month. So I have one that's just a month by month view. This is, a 2021 calendar, and it has just the month in here. And if you don't have a whole lot going on in your day-to-day, I think this can be enough, but you may be wanting to track more things. And I'm definitely a pen and paper person, so I love these kind of tools. And then I love my multicolored Sharpies. So I like to really color code things. And you can see where we're also working in just a blank journal using color coding for how I'm going to outline my program, but sometimes just blank paper and a colorful notebook, colorful markers, and I kind of just be creative and get organized that way. Of course, this looks really sloppy when you kind of throw it all together, but something really organized, like I'm really liking this one because not every day is really busy. So I feel bad when I get a full daily planner that is, if I get a daily planner that every day looks like this and I'm not using every day, I feel like I'm wasting my calendar. So this one I use in conjunction with the monthly calendar because some days are busier than others. And I'm sure at some point I might be so busy that I need to get another daily planner, but hopefully it doesn't get too busy again. So this is what I would do today is just be thinking about your big vision. And the vision is, that ultimate transformation that you want to make. Maybe this just one main goal right now. And instead of putting a number on it, you might just say, okay, I want to increase my energy from a 3 to a 9. It might be something like that. That's not necessarily something that you're going to be actively doing every single day, but by the end of the program, you might want to have your energy at a level 9 most days of the week. Or if weight loss is a goal, you might not necessarily want to put a number on it, but just saying like, I want to see consistent improvements in my weight status. Or I think for myself, I'm looking at improvements in body composition. I'm not really concerned about weight personally. That's not something that I'm going for, but I think being more toned for the summertime would be nice. I think I'd feel really confident in short sleeves and a tank top with more toned physique. So I think that's kind of where I'm going with that. It's not a hard stone, set in stone number. It's not necessarily, I think it's different. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room and it gives you a chance to look at other aspects. So I'm still looking at reducing junky calories. I'm still looking at increasing energy. I'm still looking at having good quality sleep. That might be weekly things to look at, but the ultimate goal is at the summertime, feeling more toned and in shape for summer, I guess, is where I'm going with that. And you can make yours as specific or as general, as seems appropriate, whatever feels really motivating to you. But I think another idea is to write down maybe a paragraph of, why that seems important right now. Like kind of just really write out like, okay, I'm really feeling this as my goal. And why is this important to me right now? What can I do to really encourage this process? And why am I excited about it? Right now we're on the show, we're kind of clicked in and just kind of listening to ideas, and it's like, okay, this is kind of exciting, and why? Like, why am I looking forward towards this change? I'm looking forward to more energy. I'm looking forward to getting out and feeling confident, socializing this summer, that kind of thing. So maybe doing a little bit of, you could, do a little bit of writing in a journal, or you could take a journal like this, and if you're more visual, you can get more artistic about it, cut out photos, cut out pictures and words and colors, and try to make maybe more visual art journal of the motivation for your goal, your long-term vision. And then we can kind of break it down later this week into action steps, because the big picture is the most important, and just really understanding why do I really want this, and writing about that and getting really clear and keeping that in a place where you're looking at it every day. So you're constantly reminded. You want to be annoyed. You want to be constantly reminded why you're doing this. So yeah, so I think I'm going to keep it kind of short and simple for today, and just really talk about getting the big why, and tomorrow we'll talk more about tools, but I will put these in the video description, links to Amazon, if these look appealing to you. But tomorrow I'm going to talk more about other tools to bring on board, other tools that I use with clients, tools I use with myself to kind of stay on track with healthy eating and fitness. And so I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully you guys will check out that video. It won't be a live stream. So the live streams will just be on Monday, but Monday will be like the pep talk. And so next Monday will definitely be the pep talk. Here we go. Week 1 has officially begun. And I'm looking forward to that. And please drop any more questions in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer those as we go along, especially in the live streams. So today, here we go, getting organized with a daily planner, writing out the vision and how you see yourself at the end of 8 weeks and why that is important to you and what you're going to get out of it and why you're really wanting to do this. Getting that why written out, I think, will be the most important thing you can do today. And then tomorrow we'll talk more about getting organized with particular tools. All right, guys, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.